Well, this is a very broad subject. I can introduce it by saying that if for 1 second you stop seeing the woman as a pair of tits, ass, and a cunt, and a pretty face or an ugly face or whatever the hell, right? And you didn't just see it as a thing that you can just use to masturbate, just for the sake of conversation, right? Immediately you realize that this is a person, and that person has a very big world. And that world is connected to her parents, it's connected to her grandparents, it's connected to her ancestors, and that lineage has been surviving through time, through all kinds of means and ways, and all kinds of covenants and contracts and God knows what that you may not totally understand. So when you're looking at that person, if you look at it a little deeper, you're looking at a person who's in a deep, scarce space of energy and needs energy. And there's a huge background. Not just what she's lived. It's so much grander than that. But again, because your average person doesn't understand the nature of reality and how deep the rabbit hole goes, they stay at the surface. Yeah, her parents come from Romania, and her father comes from Greece, and when she was 18, she had a boyfriend who was abusive. Like, yeah, that's like surface shit. No, I'm talking about like, there's a person, and it's a very big world. And you also. So when you meet, it's these worlds that are meeting. And sexual energy, if you think about a penis and a vagina, it's like literally, it's not just a penis and a vagina, it's more than that. It's like signing a contract of some sort. It's like bringing something and entering into something else. It's like taking your whole, imagine you are not just a penis. So let's pretend you're an actual person, right? You're an entire person with everything about you, and that's the issue of not knowing yourself. If you don't know yourself, you don't understand what I'm talking about. If you start to know yourself, you start to realize, well, I thought I was this and I'm bigger. And in a month you'll be bigger, and in a year you'll be bigger. That means there's so much more to you than meets the eye, and in 10 years you'll be so big you won't even understand you won't even recognize yourself. And this is just the start of how big you are, meaning how much is connected to you. And that connects you to all your lineage from the past. Let's not even talk about vertical lineages, because we'll just get lost. And it's the same for the girl. And now when you meet, it's these two worlds, that's how you say it. These two worlds collide. It's like Russia that meets America. Or Israel that meets Iran. Whatever country you like. Do you really want to mix? Is it beneficial? Do you think it's as shallow as sticking a cock into something? No, it's so much more than that. And that's all I'm going to say about this right now. But it's so much more than that. And because there's no sense of what sexuality is, sexual power is, how your temple works, how its energetic grid functions, let alone how her energetic grid functions, how that is connected to the mind and how the mind is constructed. Because there's everybody's like dumb. There's a generalized amnesia. Nobody understands or remembers anything. So you think you could just stick your cock in anywhere and there's no problem. Yeah, that's the beauty of, people say ignorance is bliss. Right? Because now look at what I'm talking about, man. This is so complicated, man. Just like, why don't you just stick your cock, man, live in the moment, carpe diem, man, and just enjoy the moment. I'm like, yeah, sure, I've done that also. Carpe diem my ass, bro. Right? So your average person wants nothing to do with that because it becomes complicated. It's not complicated. I'm trying to put words to invisible processes that are governing your life. These two worlds meet. And it's much more than your cock being stuck in some cunt. That's what I can say. So, would you just sign a contract with anyone? No. You just don't understand that sticking your cock into a woman is a form of signing a contract. You don't understand that because for you it's like, no, animals do it. Fucking a cat gets screwed by 18 cats before, right? It's like, yeah. Like I said, are you a fucking cat? Are you a fucking animal? Of course not. But as long as you subscribe to such bogus visions of life because you're shallow and you're a coward, we're animals. No, you're not a fucking animal. You have an animal component, yes, but you're not an animal. If you're an animal, you'd be an animal. Okay? So this is enough with this bullshit, because this is the perfect excuse. We're animals, so then you behave like an animal and you disregard everything that makes a human being interesting, and you live like an animal, and you behave like an animal, and you have the life of an animal, and you think this is all there is to it. So anyways, I'm not going to talk to such people. If you're intelligent enough to understand that there's more to you than your animal self, well, you now start to realize, I don't want to just engage with anyone just like that. I better get to know the person and better see if there's an actual resonance and that there's something that can be birthed from this that is mutually beneficial. Okay, just as I said, it's business. So at some point, this started to dawn on me. And I started to stop sticking my cock anywhere for the sake of trying to prove myself or to come, right? And I said, wait a minute, well, I don't want to have sex with you. And the girls would say, well, are we going to have sex? Maybe 2-3 times she comes around and she's naked, no doubt. And she's like, when are we having sex? I'm like, when you're going to love me? And didn't understand that. And I meant it. I'm like, well, we're just getting to know each other. I'm not going to screw you. Why the hell am I going to give you the sacred of sacreds? And you're nothing but a slut. Get the fuck out of here. You have no commitment to me, no dedication, no nothing. You don't give a fuck. You just want to take my power. No. I'm not going to give you this. I'm not going to be this. I'm not going to be your fucking toy. I respect myself. So it's not that I was mean to the girl. No, I'm seeing who she is, what she's really made of. You have to go past the surface to discover there's a form of resonance and if she has an interest in developing a relationship with you. Anyways, I have a feeling that this is maybe a little complicated for people, but perhaps it makes sense. If it does, and if it doesn't,